Welcome back to Drug Talk, everybody. In today's video, I want to quickly go over 3 things that you should be aware of before using Quetiapine or Seroquel. When you start taking Quetiapine, you may notice that you have difficulty falling asleep. This is known as insomnia. How many people develop insomnia while taking Quetiapine? It appears that about 8 to 12% of patients using this medication experience this side effect. Quetiapine is often taken in the evening, so if you experience insomnia after taking your dose, your prescriber may instruct you to take it in the morning to try to avoid the insomnia. Interestingly, some prescribers choose to use Quetiapine in their patients to treat insomnia. This is not an official indication for this medication, but it can be used off-label for this purpose. It makes sense that Quetiapine is sometimes used this way when you see that 18 to 57% of patients experience somnolence while using this medication. Somnolence is described as a state of drowsiness or a strong desire to fall asleep. Additionally, up to 14% of patients experience fatigue. So if you're prescribed Quetiapine, you have to see how it makes you feel before you can really determine when the best time is to take your dose. If it makes you tired, it makes sense to take it in the evening before bedtime. However, if it causes insomnia, it may make more sense to take it earlier in the daytime. Number 2, when you start taking Quetiapine, you may notice that you experience postural hypotension or orthostatic hypotension. This is a drop in blood pressure when going from a seated to a standing position. It can also happen when going from a lying position to a standing position, so it may be beneficial when doing this to sit for a moment before standing up. Some patients may experience dizziness from the blood pressure drop, which could put them at a risk for falls. In the elderly population, falls can often lead to fractures, so this side effect should be taken seriously. When taking Quetiapine, you have up to a 7% chance of experiencing orthostatic hypotension. You're at a higher risk of experiencing this in the first 3 to 5 days after starting the medication or after dose increases. Some patients experience dizziness unrelated to orthostatic hypotension. 8 to 19% of patients overall experience dizziness when using Quetiapine. And number 3, up to 1 in 5 patients may experience some level of agitation while using Quetiapine. Some patients may choose to discontinue this medication because of the side effect after discussions with their prescriber. Other patients may be prescribed an additional medication to help manage the agitation. Either decision must be made with your healthcare team after carefully weighing the pros and cons. I mentioned that up to 1 in 5% of patients may experience this agitation, but on the lower end of the side effect range, we see 6%, so many patients may not experience this agitation. That's all we're going to talk about today with Quetiapine or Seroquel, but before you take off, I wanted to let you know that you can pick up a copy of my book, The 5th Episode, Inside the Manic Mind, by clicking on a link in the description of this video. Take care.